to TMZ Live. There is now a $50,000 reward for any information leading to the discovery of Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie's mom. This revealed at a news conference today, and the centerpiece of this news conference was a ransom note that we here at TMZ received a few days ago and passed on to the police. And it seems like that is now the focus of this investigation.
And part of the reason that I think what is clear now that the reason it's the focus, they know that the note that we got, as well as the one that was sent to at least one other local media outlet in Tucson, is the exact same note.
And they
which we did not know before.
And they've now, look, we know, obviously, we've read the whole note, and it is very detailed. And a couple of things. One is that, you know, Savannah Guthrie had a very emotional Instagram post yesterday with her brother and sister. And the timing of this, I don't believe, is coincidental. We're not going to get into the specifics of the note, but we will say that there are two deadlines in this note, and one of them is looming. And what they are asking for is some proof of life. We will say this much about the note. It seems like, not seems, whoever wrote this note is saying that's the only communication.
That there's not going to be any more communication. And they did also make it very clear that they know what they're talking about and that they are legit, because they mentioned things in the house. And in fact, the FBI this morning at this news conference said that the two things were a watch, an Apple Watch that Nancy was wearing, and then also that there was a light, a floodlight in the backyard that had been shattered.
So there's something about the watch, because it's easy to know she had a watch on because there are pictures of her wearing a watch and pictures with Savannah. What this adds, and we're not going to get into the specifics, is where the watch was located in the house.
Right.
And that's information that has not yet come out. So
the police would know.
The police would know, and we're assuming that this seems to align because they're not discounting this ransom note, and that's a key component of it.
So as for the Apple Watch, that came up during probably the most informative part of this news conference, where the sheriff laid out the timeline for this entire crime, and her Apple Watch does figure in the middle of it.
5:32 p.m., Nancy travels to her local family's home for dinner and playing games with the family, and just visiting. At 9:48 p.m., which is very consistent to what we were told by the family, that Nancy was dropped off at home, and we know that because we have a garage door open at approximately, I can't stress that enough, at approximately 9:48 p.m. At 9:50 p.m., that garage door closes, because that time we assume that Nancy's home and probably going to bed. Sunday morning, early morning, at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m., software detects a person on a camera, but there's no video available. They have no subscription, and therefore it would rewrite itself. It just kind of loops, right, and covers up. That's what our analysis teams have told us.
Right after that is the pacemaker disconnects.
The pacemaker disconnects from the Apple phone. So all of this, now it looks like she was taken Sunday morning, early Sunday morning.
Around 2 a.m.
So one of the things that we talked about was that the thing that kind of works against the ransom note is if you're taking a woman who's 84 years old, who's infirmed, who has health problems, high blood pressure, without her meds, wouldn't you send a ransom note immediately, you know, for fear that something might happen to her?
Well, we don't know exactly when that, obviously we got it on Wednesday. We don't know when the other outlets got it.
And
so,
I think you're
that part of it. But you're right that whoever the abductors are, they have to be concerned about keeping her healthy.
So Charles and I were talking early today. In fact, we did a social media post on this where we were saying, you know, you would think that maybe they're going to check, like, pharmacy records to see if somebody went to get medicine.
Whatever that medicine is that she needs.
Exactly. And
they're going to know it from her, and they want to keep her right.
And sure enough, at the news conference just minutes ago from when we're talking to you, the FBI said they are indeed checking pharmacies and hospitals.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, too, because Savannah mentioned in her plea that her mother needs the medication to survive, but also not to suffer. And so that is, it's just a heartbreaking element. Also, with respect to these ransom notes, apparently the FBI is also part of this and said that there have been some imposter sort of ransom notes.
They've
already arrested
today.
an individual, one who they've arrested. So I think
But he made clear that note and that person was separate from the note that went out to the media.
Correct. They are clearly taking this ransom note seriously.
Yes.
And, we've already told you that one of the elements in it, there is a Bitcoin address. They ask for a lot of money. And it's very specific. And that Bitcoin address is legit. It's a real Bitcoin address. As for tracking down where this email came from, it is going to be difficult to do. We know that.
Yeah.
We gave all of this information. Actually, we gave it to the sheriff initially, and then the FBI called us a couple hours later, and they asked a lot of questions about all of it. So that's kind of where it is right now. But it seems, as a matter, one more thing. They said they do not have any suspects or any person of interest.
Right. So any
as
of
of
those,
now.
right? They are denying any of those stories that are out there claiming that there are.
So it seems this ransom note is the centerpiece.
I'm Queen, and I'm from St. Louis. I really think that the ransom note is just being used as something to throw detectives off. And also, even when Savannah was pleading for, her mother to, them to have proof of life, they just look completely, they look dead in the face. They look like they have no emotion. They look like they don't have any feeling.
I strongly disagree. I mean, Savannah was very emotional, was very upset. The brother was certainly a bit stone-faced, but no, Savannah and Annie were very emotional as they were reading those things.
Yeah, and you can't read into that. Well, listen, something just happened. The FBI just revealed some things about the letter we received that we have not talked about yet. We mentioned that a deadline is looming. They have now said the deadline. It was today at 5 p.m.
Which made it clear, as we were discussing this morning, why did they wait? Why did they do this video, Savannah and her siblings, yesterday? And it, as we suspected, is because of that deadline. It was about 24 hours before it that they dropped that video.
Right, and there's a second deadline, and that second deadline is Monday. They've just announced that as well. I will say we're not going to say what gets triggered on each deadline, but the first one, the demands change.
The demands change.
And the second one is much more serious.
So we now have some more information about Bella Hadid and her, we thought, ex-boyfriend.
We think it's her boyfriend.
Adon Banuelos, who we told you was arrested for public intoxication in Texas, just outside Fort Worth. Turns out that Bella herself actually had a little run-in with the law that night.
And he was the knight in shining armor to help her.
Until that knight in shining armor ended up posing for a mugshot. So what went down here is the fact that Bella, they were separate, in separate vehicles, and Bella got pulled over for a traffic stop. We're not sure exactly, police have not said what she was allegedly doing wrong, but they pulled her over.
Now, what I'm told is he was actually at home, and his friend and he drove over to where Bella had been stopped.
Right. She was stopped near the bar where they had been dancing that night, right?
So they had both actually returned because she had left her cell phone allegedly at the bar.
Right.
That's why they were going back to the bar.
Right.
So the cops didn't even know who this guy was until he approached them while they were doing the traffic stop.
Right.
They immediately smelled.
Police never, ever like that.
No, not at all. And he was basically saying, I'm here to check on my girlfriend. I'm worried about my girlfriend. Basically, they smelled alcohol on him. They asked him if he had been drinking. He said he had 4 beers throughout the day, which for a cowboy, that's nothing. But
well, that's what everybody says.
Yeah.
Usually they say 2.
Right.
In Texas,
you
say 4. In Texas, they say 4.
Yeah, I mean, you
Texas.
technically don't tell the truth in those situations, but they did do the field sobriety test on him, and he basically got arrested for being drunk in public.
It's so weird because unless he was doing, it's because he was interrupting their.
Nope, I don't even think it's that. Here's what I think it is, because I was thinking the same thing. I don't think, this makes no sense to call it public intoxication. That's when you are crazy drunk. I think what happened, what we're told is that his friend went inside the bar. So they just see a truck.
The friend who drove
the friend who
him
drove
back.
the friend who, we're not sure who drove, but yeah, the friend that was in the truck. He's in the bar. So the cops are looking at this guy, knowing this guy is drunk, worried that this guy will get in his truck and drive drunk. So they arrested him for that because he would be a danger to himself and others if he got in the truck and
you're
drove.
right, because they do say that in the police report. And the weird thing about it is that the car, his truck was there with Bella's dog in it. And he basically was telling, so he had told cops, I didn't drive that car. And they're like, okay, well, who did?
And
he
the
said,
guy's
my
not there,
friend.
and he's not there.
He's
in the bar.
inside, and he's like, well, who's your friend? He didn't give up the
So
name.
that's-
Right, he's not going to give up his friend's name. You never do that.
So
Yeah,
that's
so-
so that's why they arrested
So
him.
he gets arrested.
Okay, two things. One, clearly Bella is still with this guy.
He told the cop it's my girlfriend, but he also
And they
could just
released
be-
all of his
Well, they were
stuff.
dancing
And
together.
they
They were
released
dancing
all of his
together all
stuff
night.
to his girlfriend. Bella.
Here's the second thing that is really perplexing to me. Put that mugshot up again. When they do mugshots, typically, well, I'm going to make a point.
Okay.
When we see mugshots, and we see a lot of them, usually people are wearing street clothes. He is wearing jail garb there, I think.
Because they put him in the drunk tank.
Right, but I think maybe he showed up without a shirt.
No, he
at the
did not
scene.
show up with...
I don't know.
That's
Well,
your
what?
takeaway. My
That's my takeaway. That's
takeaway
my
is
takeaway.
pull that up. How did this dude land Bella Hadid? That's my takeaway.
Oh, stop it.
Come on.
He's a cowboy. You already answered
I mean,
that.
he doesn't have his cowboy hat on. They
Could
should-
that be his street clothes? Or no, that's a jail thing,
that's
right?
for
No,
sure.
no, we saw what he was
jail
wearing.
He was
Dancing.
shirtless. He was shirtless.
Coming up. Well, just a couple of days away from the Super Bowl, and of course, Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime, and everyone wants to know who's going to join him on stage.
Vegas has
Vegas is
spoken.
convinced that there is going to be a special guest, but one is the clear favorite. Be right back. Well, just a couple of days away from the Super Bowl, and of course, Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime. And everyone wants to know who is going to join him on stage. I don't know that anyone has to join him on stage, but
Vegas
Vegas
has
is
spoken.
convinced that there is going to be a special guest, and there are a lot of wagers on all sorts of people, but one is the clear favorite.
And it's got to be Cardi B, man. I mean,
That's what Vegas is saying.
they had a great song, and
But you know, sometimes those bookies, they try to rope you in.
they are right. She is
They think it's going to be
perfect.
Cardi.
Perfect.
I mean, there are a lot of things that align that would say that it's going to be Cardi. The fact that her song with Bad Bunny is his most popular English, Spanglish.
It's only number one hit that he's had.
Yeah. So you would think he's going to do it. And also, she has a new album out, and her boyfriend is playing in.
See, that works. That's the weird one, because that's exactly why Taylor Swift said she wouldn't do it, because she worried that.
Do you think Taylor Swift and Cardi B are two very different people?
They are.
I don't think I have to explain.
They are, but yeah, I think Harvey's right, though. I don't think Cardi wants to be rehearsing for the halftime show while she's there to support her man.
See, I see well, first of all, she knows the song.
Yeah, but you have to do all the choreography and the
Right,
stage
the
and all
choreography,
of
the
that.
stage and
What
all
is
that.
rehearsal?
No, but what if she's in her suite and she stands up at the glass and picks up a microphone and it does a thing? It would be hysterical.
It'd be funny, but they're not going to. The Super Bowl's not going to do that.
That's funny.
The producers won't want that.
So some of the other people that you can place bets on.
Nicki Minaj.
No, Nicki Minaj is not on the list. J-Lo, Karol G.
J-Lo's done it. It's not going to be J-Lo.
Well, but she brought Bad Bunny out when she did it.
I
so
know, but
maybe
no.
they think maybe return
No.
the favor.
No.
Karol G. I thought I saw Mark Anthony also.
Yeah, they did. No, they had Mark Anthony, but Mark Anthony.
Yeah.
Mark Anthony is a two Caesar to the Beckhams.
Oh yeah, he's the one that played
right.
first dance that
Right.
Victoria allegedly.
They call him. They
real
don't call
risky.
him Mark Anthony for nothing.
Real risky to bring him out. Travis Scott, and Travis Scott is
That's-
also available to place your bet.
Hi, my name is Ariel. I am residing in Houston, Texas. My thing is, it all makes sense. Think about it. Cardi's going on tour shortly after the Super Bowl. Exposure. And if anybody knows how to gather and grab a time when it's ready, it's Cardi. Not only that her current boyfriend is playing in the game, okay, we know that, but Also, think about the beef with her and Nicki Minaj. She is going to make a statement. I think that she's going to get
Yes,
on the
I
stage because
so agree with you.
think about it. Nicki's fans are going to be watching the alternative halftime show,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The ones that support her now, they're going to be over there. Cardi is making a statement, and I think Bad Bunny is as well.
I
He has
think
a
you're
lot of
so right.
songs.
I think you're so right. That's just what I was thinking too.
We shall see. Some behind-the-scenes video now from the set of Outer Banks, the hit Netflix series that depicts something that we first told you about last fall. There were cast members who were very upset with the director, Jonas Pate, because they said he had grabbed a PA and shook her. Sounded really, really bad.
And they said it wasn't the first time he went off on the set.
Well, turns out there was some surveillance video of this area on the set where they were shooting.
So look at the woman in the
white. We now
white.
have the video.
The woman in the white's the PA.
Carrying, looks like drinks.
Now
she's
watch.
Carrying.
Now he grabs
That's
her.
Jonas grabs her.
But he's not shaking her. Now
Yeah.
watch what happens.
And then Madeline Klein walks over. Here's the close-up of it, right? So he grabs her. He's yelling, and we know that because everyone turns and looks. And Madeline gets up and confronts him about this.
It's very clear. We don't have audio, but she must have been screaming because everybody was looking that way.
Everyone to look. So we knew that Madeline had gotten involved. We're also told that Chase Stokes got involved, but we never see Chase anywhere in this video. Someone connected to the production has told us this video, which is only about 20-something seconds, only shows the beginning of this confrontation, and that there was more that happened after. When the video cuts off, Madeline is still yelling or engaged in an argument with Jonas.
And Chase may have walked in
and
after.
then Chase may have walked in at that point. But the bigger thing, I think, for the director, for Jonas, is I don't see a shake here.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, that doesn't matter. I mean, obviously.
Well, when we first heard about it, that was the thing that was
It was described
really
as way worse if you're picturing it in your head. But the fact that he, you know, as the runner of this set, and he is grabbing a PA who is way lower, obviously, on the totem pole there. And I mean, good for Madeline for like sticking up for the PA.
Yeah. It must have been really loud.
Because Madeline immediately, she sat down, she's just chilling, waiting to start shooting that scene, and then she jumps up.
And I remember when we did this story, we were getting phone calls and we were talking to people. They were saying, yeah, this happens, not that exact thing, but they were happy that the story got out.
It felt like, and certainly maybe Madeline's reaction was so immediate because felt like this has happened before.
It seems like almost she was like anticipating, like her reaction was so quick. I mean, and you can see now that it's just because she
was
walked in front of the camera. It appears that that's what happened. The PA walked in the camera line. And I mean, just imagine if that had been like, what if like Tawanda walked through the shot here,
try it,
and
Tawanda,
then
let's see
like
what happens.
I jumped up and like like you're gonna shove her? Like it's crazy.
What does that remind you of?
You just come walking through. Coming up. Congresswoman from Delaware, Sarah McBride, is addicted to a particular reality show, Traitors.
Who would make a good traitor? Literally all of them.
Our guest, Quentin Giles, not only was he a contestant on the very first season of Traitors, he happens to be a political analyst, so he is perfect to play the game.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
BB Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say, look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at. Well, just a few days in D.C., a few days back in D.C., I should say, for TMZ, and we are learning a lot.
TMZ DC.
Yes, TMZ
we now
DC
have officially launched TMZ DC.
Up and running, and we are learning a lot about our elected officials, including the Congresswoman from Delaware, Sarah McBride. We had a conversation with her about how she spends some of her downtime. She, turns out, like millions of other people, is addicted to a particular reality show, Traitors. In fact, not just the U.S. Traitors. She watches it from every country available around the world.
She had a lot of time during the shutdown.
Yeah, apparently. So here is what she said about traitors and how it applies in D.C. There are similarities.
What reality show best mimics what goes on in D.C.?
Oof. You know, sometimes it feels more like Real Housewives. Sometimes it feels more like Traitors. And let's be honest, there's a lot of overlap between the two.
Who then do you think, who you work with, who would make a good traitor?
Honestly, pretty much any member of the Republican caucus would, because they are very good about being one person behind the scenes and another person out in public. So they'd be good being in the turret with their fellow traitors.
Anyone specifically?
I mean, literally all of them. Lindsey Graham might be great. Lindsey Graham might be a good one.
Anyone to be good, good faithful then? Is there anyone who's super good and loyal and also good at weeding out the...
AOC.
Okay, so Lindsey Graham is the winner of Traitors, D.C.
Hypothetically. Now, what if they actually did do this? Our guest is
they kind of do.
I guess they kind of do, actually. Yeah. We just don't get to watch it every week. It happens behind the scenes.
We got to go to an expert.
Yes, our guest, Quentin Giles, not only was he a contestant on the very first season of Traitors, he happens to be a political analyst, so he is perfect to play the game. So, Quentin, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you for having me. And you are correct. It is DC is much like the show Traitors. There's a lot of overlap in real life.
Okay, so there are more than 500 players in Congress, and there is a lot of backstabbing going on, so we hear. So give us the ones who would stand out to you as traitors.
As traitors? Okay, so this is gonna take you for a spin because this is the government at large, but I think Bernie Sanders, Marco Rubio, and Pete Buttigieg would be excellent traitors.
Okay, let's stop for a second. Hold on. Bernie Sanders, to me, seems like one of the most authentic people, because maybe I'm fooled, but I believe, whether you believe in what he says, I believe he believes in what he says. So you're saying that you're
That's
saying
what makes him a good...
But why do you think there are two sides to this guy?
That's what makes him a good one. Like in the game of traitors, you have to gain people's trust. Okay, so I got all the way to the end, but I trusted the wrong person and lost out on the money at the end. So if someone can gain your trust and convince you that they are on your side, then they have you in the bag. And so Bernie is very authentic, and I think that's why he would make an excellent traitor. Pete Buttigieg is an excellent communicator. The way he goes into the lion's den and debates on Fox News, whether you agree or disagree with his politics, you got to give it to the guy. He's an excellent orator. And so for that reason alone, too, he would be able to convince the group to not look at him, but to look at someone else. And honestly, Marco Rubio, he kind of, just mends and folds no matter which side he's on. One day he's an ultra hyper conservative. The next he is ultra MAGA. And so his willingness and ability to adapt to any situation that he's in screams traitor.
It sounds like praise when you're talking about the show Traitors, but in real life, some people would say that was a diss.
Yeah.
And then, and you say Mike Johnson also is a traitor.
And Mike Johnson as well. Mike Johnson, another excellent communicator. Here's the thing. When you listen to Mike Johnson, Mike Johnson is lying to you, but he's able to say it in such a southern, smooth way that it's like, well, hold on. Do I need to hit Google? Maybe I don't know what I know.
Okay, I want to ask you about my particular profession. So let's talk about the law side of this. Anybody on the Supreme Court that could stand out?
Yes, Amy Coney Barrett would be excellent. Think about how she got fast-tracked into the Supreme Court. We all really thought, she was going to be the MAGA darling, right? So she would be able to get the Republicans on her side to never vote against her. Man. Mm-hmm. But if you listen to her rulings, if you watch how she actually moves on the court, she's not MAGA. And again, whether you agree or disagree with her ideology, she seems to be very much by the book and tries to be as fair as possible. So that way, I think she could actually win the thing because she would get the Republicans to think she's on their side, but then she would convince the Democrats that she'd be fair.
I co-signed to that. I co-signed that one. What about Gavin Newsom?
Gavin Newsom, I think Gavin would be a faithful, but I think they would X him on up out of there.
Yeah.
Very quick.
He would be, I'm going to say, he would be gone first week.
Gavin Newsom and Ted Cruz are out of there quickly. I'm from Texas. Every time the wind blows, Ted catches a flight, so they would automatically assume that
All right, he's
Ted
from
was a
Texas. He
traitor.
said it. We didn't say it. Just to be
I'm
clear.
just saying.
All right.
They would assume that Ted was a traitor. So Gavin and Ted, they would be gone immediately.
Okay, I have one that's really kind of hit the scene big. Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah.
And that's from your state.
Yeah, from my state as well. Definitely would be a faithful. I don't think that she would do well as a traitor because too much of her gumption just oozes out of her. So she wouldn't be able to hold the secret that she's actually trying to betray a person. But I think she could make it far because even though she is a firebrand personality, I mean, she coalition builds quite well amongst her caucus. So I think the Democrats would keep her safe and probably throw some other ones under the bus.
The problem is
I don't think she would win, but she would make it far.
But Quentin, she wears her heart on her sleeve. There's nothing. She's not hiding anything. So
not at all.
I think, don't you, in this game, you kind of got to keep some stuff to yourself.
You do, but I mean, in my season, I went up. Kate Chastain from Below Deck was on our season, and I mean, she literally wore her heart on the sleeve and made it very far. We all thought Kate was a traitor, but she ultimately wasn't. And so it really depends on personality. It depends on if people like you, if you can coalition build, and if you can convince people either that you are a faithful or are a traitor.
Okay, finally, let's go back to where we started with Congresswoman McBride. She says Lindsey Graham would win the whole thing. Do you agree or not?
I disagree. Much like Marco Rubio, Lindsey kind of fits where he needs to fit in. You know, I don't know, one day he's conservative, next day he's MAGA too. Next day he's done with Trump. So we don't know where Lindsey stands. So I think people would look at that and say, nah, Lindsey's going to flip because if it doesn't benefit Lindsey, he's not going to benefit me. So they would kick him out.
Hey, Quentin, this was great. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank y'all. Have a good one.
Coming up.
So rapper Glorilla is used to the spotlight, but there's someone else in her family who's been stealing the spotlight. Her sister, Scarface. Scarface feels that Glorilla has essentially abandoned her family. Scarface, welcome to TMZ Live.
Be right back.
So rapper Glorilla is used to the spotlight, but there's someone else in her family who's been stealing the spotlight. Her sister, Scarface. Because Scarface has gone viral on multiple platforms, because I think what she is complaining about here has sparked a big conversation on social media. Scarface feels that Glorilla has essentially abandoned her family, is not supporting the family now, and has turned her back, especially financially, on the family. And she has a lot of grievances that she's been airing out on social media, which everybody feels differently about this, but joining us right now to talk about this is Scarface Woods. Scarface, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you. What's going on? What problem?
So let's start with just your grievance that you feel that your sister has an obligation to share the wealth.
Hey, yeah, she got an obligation to share the wealth. We sat here, we struggled together. Took baths and bottles of water, rest, roaches, all that. Yeah, she obligated. Is them friends obligated? She doing everything for them. So yeah, I feel like I'm obligated.
So what is it you think she's not doing for the family? What is the... you're making it sound like there's a real financial hardship. Describe what you're talking about.
She's not doing nothing. She's not doing nothing for family. At all. She do little oohs and ahs for our parents or whatever, but barely nothing, because my mama still clocking the clock at FedEx.
Your mom has a job. She works at FedEx.
Yeah, she's still working at FedEx.
So
does your mom not want to work?
No, she don't want to work. Gloria got y'all believing this fake-ass, imaginary-ass thing where she retired them. No, she did not. My dad retired because his time was up. She's supposed to have retired my mama, but she didn't. My mama still clocking the clock at FedEx.
So let me ask you something about that, because it really is kind of interesting that your mother makes a living by working. Why does somebody in Glorilla's position...
My mama put change in her pocket by working. My mama has a husband who does this and that.
Okay.
Okay.
And Gloria did not purchase my mother's house. I'm not gonna say like she ain't give my mama nothing, but she did not purchase my mama's house. My mama bought her own house.
Okay. Okay, well, so your mom has a house, and she gives your mom something, but not enough in your book. Why does she owe it to you to support you and to support the family beyond what she wants to do? It's her money, right?
Because don't go on no interviews, talk about our struggle. You want to do that. That's not right. You don't sit here and talk about struggle, sit here and struggle with. It's not one sibling, you got 9 other siblings. Cause my daddy got another baby that's not by my mama, a young baby. You got all these siblings you can sit here and struggle with. You want to sit here and talk about all this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. You're not reaching back up and nobody else.
So
yes, we obligated.
Scarface, you think that she's obligated to support all 9 of her siblings as well as her parents?
She's supporting all 9 of them damn backup dancers. Why not?
Well, I mean, the backup dancers are working. They have jobs.
Rambo,
they have to be
she's
paid.
supporting him. She doing all that. These niggas riding around
Well,
with
no, but
Cadillacs and stuff.
hold on. There is, I mean, I've got to call you on that. She's paying her backup dancers because they are her employees. So that's
She getting her money just because. She getting her money just because. She getting her money just because. She got plenty other in Memphis. She getting money to.
Well,
let me just. I got 2 siblings staying down there in Atlanta with her. That she treat them like housemaids.
So
I got a brother named Edwin Woods, little Eddie, who called my mama for $40 on his phone bill. He's staying down there with Glory. Y'all keep on painting this picture like she's just a good person, an upright person. She's not.
So here's something that Glow pretty publicly did last year when your dad, you said he retired. His time was up, so he retired. And she bought him a brand new Jaguar as a retirement gift, right? And we saw this back in November. I mean, that's pretty nice to give someone a Jaguar, no?
What evidence do you have of that brand new Jaguar?
There's an Instagram video
and
of it.
Of course, she gonna try to make it look good for y'all. My dad over there broke as right now.
So let me ask you.
She gonna try to make it look
You're claiming
good for
that she
y'all.
didn't actually give him a Jaguar?
Well, you said brand new. Did you not?
What if it's used?
So you're saying that the problem is it was pre-owned?
It most definitely was.
So let me ask you something. How much money do you think your sister
Glow
pulls
has.
in? How much do you think she pulls in a year?
I mean, sure. She met the president of the United States. She got Sheen endorsements. She got this, she got that.
But what's your ballpark? Give me a ballpark.
She got that got braided. Oh God, she got braided. I ain't gonna even come on there.
Okay.
No, we're not arguing. She's got bread.
I'm making a point here. Let's say she has $2 million.
Okay.
How much of that does she owe to you and the rest of the family of that $2 million?
She can get all of it like $2,500 a piece.
How much?
$2,500.
25 that's it, just 2,500 flat, or is that a
$2,500 flat?
I think she would jump at that.
I think if that's all you want, I think Glow might jump at that.
But imagine her being on for 4 years and not giving us zero, none at all. But a lot of people sitting here saying she not obligated. But Gloria, you sit here and talk about us in the interviews, bro. We was on the west side, struggling, paid.
Hey,
that don't count for nothing.
Scarface, I just want to ask you about this. I saw Glow had posted some screenshots that she says were a conversation with your mom, where she.
Where's the dates? Where's the date and the time on this screenshot? And it look like she on hotspot. Where's the date and the time on this screenshot? And the phone finna die. It look like she on hotspot.
Top left corner. The top left corner. There's a time, and it certainly
on
sounds
the
like
message.
your mom was appreciative.
Now, my mom complained about her every day, all day. So no, I know that ain't my mom. Look at is it a date and a time on them messages though? That's what I'm talking about. Look at the date. Where's the date and the time on the messages? Not in the left, right, in the left corner.
Scarface, listen. So we're just about out of time. I'm curious. You've certainly seen the debate online. There are a lot of people who think that you're being kind of greedy, and there are other people who agree with you that Glow should be helping the family more. We haven't heard from your mom. I mean, what does your mom think about you going public with this whole thing?
At the end of the day gotta end. I don't give a
Okay, well, that confuses me. Look, we really appreciate you coming on. That last thing you just said, it's like, I thought that was the point, but what do I know?
Family matters. Family matters.
Thanks for joining us.
All right, Scarface, thanks.
Coming up.
Who doesn't want to talk about Taylor Swift's wedding? Travis Kelce, you would think he would be kind of tight-lipped. Well, guess what? He is up in the Bay Area for the Super Bowl, and so are we. And guess what? We got him out last night, and we got him to talk about the wedding.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. Who doesn't want to talk about Taylor Swift's wedding? Travis Kelce, you would think he would be kind of tight-lipped.
There have been a lot of diversions from that wedding. It was the only thing people talked about for a while, and so many things are happening.
Oh, they're going to get back into it as soon as... Because now the season's over. I mean,
yeah.
Travis has got nothing else to do but wedding planning.
Sure.
But I would think that Taylor wouldn't want him speaking much about it. Well, guess what? He is up in the Bay Area for the Super Bowl, and so are we. And guess what? We got him out last night, and we got him to talk about the wedding and to reveal a very important detail. Very important if you are lucky enough to be on the guest list and you're going to be at this wedding, at the reception. There is something you can look forward to. Here's what Travis told us.
How many kegs and garage beer will be at that reception?
Man, I can't even count that high.
Beer is
going to be flowing.
Now, here's the thing. Look, I don't know, but I would think that Taylor's perspective is, I want this elaborate, classy, elegant wedding. And he's thinking beer kegs, which is really interesting because
both things can coexist.
I know.
And it's really what their relationship is about,
But that's what's really interesting.
I mean, the way I see it is Taylor is in charge of the actual wedding, the ceremony, and then she's like, run wild with whatever you want to do.
The reception's more important. I don't think she said run wild.
But
she knows better than that.
The great part about this question and the answer is we have an idea of how big this wedding is going to be now. Either that or just a select few is going to drink an insane amount of beer.
Except we don't know how high he can count.
That's true. He can at least count to three.
Well, are you sure?
Yeah.
Three usually is three if you have three huts.
He puts his fingers up, one
but
each ring.
I'm actually really serious. Am I wrong that the reception's more important than the wedding?
Yeah.
Right?
No,
a lot of people skip the wedding.
It totally is.
Okay.
That's what people are going for.
So she's looking at the reception. And I just find it really interesting. How much is it going to be him and how much is it going to be her?
You got to remember, when she announced their engagement, she said, your English teacher's marrying your gym teacher. She wants him to be that guy, to be himself.
So do they do like lobster and pizza?
You know what? Probably.
It could be a best of both worlds kind of thing. But she does party. She
parties.
Enjoy herself, yeah.
Well, that's the wine part. But I'm saying that it's different.
Hey, my name's Tanner. I'm from Tampa. This quite possibly might be the wedding of the century. And with Travis Kelce at the helm, you know it's going to be a booze fest. If Travis Kelce's good at two things, that is winning Super Bowls and partying. I've seen him out partying after the past couple Super Bowl wins that he has had, and it's been quite the fest. And with his brother, Jason Kelce, also there, it's going to be quite the fest with garage beer. I haven't tried it myself. I'm on a sobriety streak, but I wish I had an invite. It's going to be a fun one.
This is true.
Don't call it a sobriety streak.
Yes, maybe he's just, doing a couple months to begin the year.
Coming up.
There's a phrase they use on the Hill. I'm going to reclaim my time. Guess who is reclaiming her time? Kristen Cabot. Does that name sound familiar to you?
Yeah,
that's her. Kristen Cabot, who was at the Coldplay concert. She is now speaking about it in a way.
This is awesome.
Be right back.
There's a phrase they use on the Hill. I'm going to reclaim my time. Guess who is reclaiming her time? Kristen Cabot. Does that name sound familiar to you? That probably doesn't make it enough.
But this will.
Now you'll know who we're talking about.
Yeah,
that's her. Kristen Cabot, who was at the Coldplay concert last summer when she and the CEO of Astronomer, were caught hugging, canoodling, as they say.
They were caught.
Well, guess what? She is now speaking about it in a way.
This is awesome.
I wonder if she's going to speak specifically about it, but everyone knows she's speaking at a crisis comms conference.
So there are crisis PR people that make their living basically handling crises, and she was in the middle of one. So how brilliant! $875 a seat. She's going to cash in, and she's going to tell her story.
Talking about taking back the narrative.
I got to say, hats off.
Good for her.
The only thing that would make it better is if Coldplay plays. That would be awesome.
When she walks up, that's the music. They play the music. Coldplay going when she walks up.
Absolutely.
Coming up. Opening ceremony tomorrow in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And Tate McCrae is responding to her Olympic controversy. We showed you the ad that she did for NBC, and all of her Canadian brethren said, "What gives?"
Be right back.
Opening ceremony tomorrow in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And Tate McCrae is responding to her Olympic controversy. We showed you the ad that she did for NBC, where she said she can't wait to meet Team USA, and all of her Canadian brethren said, "What gives?"
People in Canada never get mad. They got mad here.
They got mad at this, and she posted a photo of, oh, look at little Tate waving her Canadian flag. That was a long time ago. She said, "Y'all know I'm Canada down."
I get it, but she's not Canada down for the Olympics.
Yeah, that was you when you were like 1.
Yeah, and her favorite breakfast, Eggs Benedict. Wow. Yeah.
See you tomorrow.